All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. Before we begin, I'd like to go over some small housekeeping items. This is a webinar format, which means attendees are in listen and view only mode with no ability to unmute or start your cameras. You will be able to ask questions during the Q&A portion of the call by selecting the Q&A icon at the bottom of your screen on your Zoom toolbar. Additionally, we are offering interpretation today in Spanish, Vietnamese, and Chinese. You can access that by selecting the interpretation button on your toolbar. You are also able to access closed captioning and select any of the available 11 languages that you would like to view today's session in. And with that, I'd like to start the session by turning it over to Juan.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for being here today. We know it's getting close to fall, so it's getting a little bit darker. So, it's getting harder to do things. So let's just jump right on in with our agenda for today. So first, we'll go ahead and start things out with a quick safety moment, followed by some quick news to know. And then we'll do a quick team introduction, so you know who's going to be all talking. And then we're going to have some pretty cool prizes. So you'll want to stick around till the end to find out how to win those. And then we'll have some facts. And I do have some polling questions that I want to ask. And then we'll have a program overview of all those programs that you see there. And then at the end, we'll finish things off with a Q&A with the presenters. So, if you have a question throughout, you can put them in the Q&A section at the bottom there of your screen. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, so let's start off with the safety moment first. Usually in big groups like this, we like to share a safety moment before we give a presentation. So the safety moment I have for you today is, again, it's getting darker earlier, so it's it's easier for for things to happen out and about, for trespassing or graffiti activity, any of that kind of thing. So if you're out and about driving by your local substation and you see any of this suspicious activity, please make sure that you call 911 and let them know what's going on. But just make sure that you do not get near the situation. Let the professionals handle it. All right, so the first poll question today is, what language do you prefer to listen during today's event? And the options are English, Spanish, Vietnamese, and Mandarin. Let's go ahead and pick, and then we'll take a look here to see who is listening today. All right, just a few more seconds here. We'll get an answer. There we go. The answers have come in. So it looks like the majority of us here are prefer English. And then we actually do have a good portion of Spanish speakers as well, and with a few Vietnamese and Mandarin speakers. So thank you all for being here today. I know that you have a lot of other things today, and we really appreciate you sharing your time with us. Okay, so if you haven't been to the PSE website lately, you'll want to go visit, because now PSE.com is available in 7 different languages, including English, Chinese, Hindi, Korean, Russian, Spanish, and Vietnamese. So it's much more access for many more customers. So share that information with everyone and anyone you know. All right, and now we're going to do some quick introductions here, and I'll go ahead and kick it off to Suzanne to start things off.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Suzanne Sasseville. I'm the supervisor of our bill assistance programs here at Puget Sound Energy, and I'll turn it over to Sandy.
Hi, my name is Sandy Sigg, and I am the program manager for the Weatherization Assistance program. Chris?
Thanks, Sandy. Hi, everyone, and thanks for joining us. Chris Stapleton. I'm a program manager in Customer Energy Management, Energy Efficiency Services. Amit?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Amit Singh, and I am a program manager for our Efficiency Boost program, and that is higher rebates for moderate income customers. I'll pass it over to Mitch.
Hi, this is Mitch Dro. I'm the PSE Flex program manager. I operate the residential Flex programs and excited to chat with you guys about that today. Pass it off to Zachary.
Sorry, I was on mute there. I'm Zach. My name is Zach, and I'm an energy advisor at PSE, and I go over rebates and the different programs we offer.
Thank you for sharing that information. And my name is Juan Farias Torres. I am the outreach manager in Skagit and Snohomish County, and I share program information out in the community. All right. Now we're going to go and talk about the prices. So there are going to be 6 winners that will be receiving a $200 gift card to Fred Meyer. They will be contacted on Wednesday the 16th. So make sure you stick around and watch the whole presentation so you for more information on this later on. All right, poll question number 2. What brings you here today? Option number 1. I would like to understand how PSE can help me lower my energy bill with payment assistance. Option number 2, I would like information to help me lower my energy bill by making my home more energy efficient. Option number 3, I would like to learn how to better understand my energy usage. Option number 4, I would like to learn how PSE can help me determine which Flex program is right for me, or all the above. Take a few seconds there to go ahead and make your vote. Great. And just a quick reminder, if you have any questions as we go through this, there is a Q&A section at the bottom there that you can put them in, and we will get to them at the end, and if or answer them as we go through. So just make sure to input them there. All right. It looks like the majority of you, 54% of you, so yeah, the majority of you here would like to learn about all of those things that I just mentioned. Everybody else would like to either learn how they can lower their payments or how they can be more energy efficient, with a minority of you wanting to better understand your energy usage and learn about the Flex program. So we'll be doing all of that here today. And now I will go ahead and pass it on to Suzanne to take over.
Thank you, Juan. Again, I'm Suzanne Sassville. Welcome this evening. I'm the supervisor of our bill assistance programs here at Puget Sound Energy. So the first program I'm going to talk about is one that has been around for more than 20 years. It's called our Home Energy Lifeline program, otherwise referred to as HELP. And this is a program that offers our customers bill payment assistance beyond what the federal low-income home energy assistance program does. And that program we'll talk about in a minute, but about our PSE HELP program. People who have an income for their county that is at or below 80% of the county median income, or 200% of the federal poverty level, whichever is greater, are eligible for our programs. Now, I know that's a lot to remember, and so what we have allowed on our website and for the program is you to be able to put in what your gross monthly income is and be able to have the system determine if you're within the range of eligibility or not, because there are many counties and we serve up to households of 25 people. And when you have many different tiers of a bill discount rate, it can get complex. So that's the main thing, is we've allowed the system to give you that information, and we'll talk about that in a moment. Our PSE Help grant can range anywhere from $250 up to $1,000. And that is designed to pay 20 to 60% of your annual energy usage. So of your bills, it can range in that amount of a grant, depending on your usage that you had over the last 12 months. No appointment is needed for the PSE Help program. If you apply online at pse.com, an application will be started. And if you are not technologically savvy, that's not a problem. By contacting our customer care department, they can mail you out a bill assistance application. And in so doing, you will also be filling out the application for our bill discount rate program. And I'll talk about that in a moment. Our bill discount rate. When you apply for PSE Help, as I mentioned, it creates two applications. And the second application is one that will give you a reduced rate on your monthly bill that ranges anywhere from 5% up to 45%. And again, that is based on the number of people in the household, what the income is that's reported, and those factors. So when you enroll, which you can do on pse.com or again by a mailed out application, you will receive that discount for a 13-month period of time. And at the 12-month mark, we will inform you that you'll want to come back in and reapply, because it is currently an annual program at this time. The bill discount rate is the same income guidelines as for the PSE Help program. And the nice thing about this and PSE Help is that we have moved now to a self-attestation of your income, meaning that you can look at the number of people in your household who are working that are 18 years and older and collectively tell us what the gross income is. And then once you get inside, we do reduce that amount for taxes. And so that is how you self-attest to your monthly income. Now, I will say we do an audit or a verification of eligibility once a month for 5% of the people who have applied. So if you find that you got a message from one of our community action partner agencies, it's because they are doing the eligibility verification for us. And so that is part of the program. By completing that application, again, you will be qualified for a PSE Help grant, and those grants are automatically worked by our community action agencies by the applications that come into our system. They'll be working them as they come in. And you can go back to your MyPSE account at any time to see where your application is in the status. The agencies and PSE will give it a status as it moves along till it's approved. And at that point, you will get an email if you're an email customer. If you're not an email customer, it will be on your next bill. So this is the screen that you'll see when you go to the pse.com website. It's got the top field there where it tells you to put the number of people living in your household, and that's everybody, you know, children, adults, everybody. Then you select the county that you live in, and then you enter the gross monthly household income. Now, you will, in some cases, get a pop-up that tells you you are appearing to be over income and not eligible, but it does invite you to continue. And I invite you to continue as well, because once you get in and you declare the type of income, there are certain incomes that have taxes taken out, and we accommodate for that. And it's the after-tax amount that makes you eligible for our program. And so please continue on in when you do that online. This, for our bill discount rate, is the list of the tiers. And so you can see that the tier number 1 has the highest discount, and that would be where a household is in a position where the income is very, very low. And then as the income is higher in the numbers, it goes up to the 5%. So again, the system will determine by what you put as the income, where you fall in those tiers. Last but not least, this program here, the Past Due Bill Forgiveness Program, is one that we launched just here in October. This is a program offered to our customers who are also eligible for PSE help and our bill discount rate. And then once those grants are paid or you are eligible for, then you can begin the Past Due Bill Forgiveness Plan. And what that is a plan for customers who have a past due balance that is older than 30 days and is at least $300 up to a maximum amount of $2,500. And the system will put you, once you declare that you would like to go on that in the process of applying, it will set you on a 12-month commitment that will begin when your balance is having a past due amount of $300, and 1/12 of that past due amount is forgiven each time that you pay your regular bill on time. This eligibility is good for the 12 months, and then you can come back again in 2 years. And so I want to say it's going to be 24 months apart from when you start one to when you can start another one again. I will say too, if you are late accidentally, it allows a couple grace periods for that, but the amount does need to be paid, and then you will have 1/12 of your past due forgiven. This next slide speaks to the other programs that are available for our customers. The LIHEAP, which stands for Low Income Home Energy Assistance Program, is administered by our 11 community action partnership agencies within PSE's 10 county service territory. They do require an appointment and supporting documentation for the income that would qualify you for that program. This program is designed to help pay for heating and cooling costs so that you can maintain an affordable, dependable utility service and to avoid disconnection of service. This program is offered for customers whose income is a little bit lower than the PSE help and bill discount rate. So it is set at 150% of the federal poverty guideline as the cap. And the grants for that range from $250 up to $1,250 this program year. And it is once a program year, which goes October 1st through September 30th. The Warm Home Fund. This is a program that you may see on your bill sometimes, where customers of Puget Sound Energy donate, and the money is turned over to the Salvation Army to administer for us in our 10 counties. And this has the same income guidelines as our PSE help program and our bill discount rate. And it's more of a safety net program. After you've received the LIHEAP or after you've received PSE help and are on the bill discount rate, this is less money, of course. So it is again, a safety net program. We don't recommend you have the Warm Home Fund pay first, but rather after the other programs, if you have any additional left over that is up for disconnection. And that's the one thing about the Warm Home Fund program is it is for those customers that are in crisis. So a disconnect notice, meaning an urgent or final notice, is required for that program. And beyond that is an introduction to our community action agencies. Now, these are the agencies that administer our PSE Help program. So while the application comes into our website, they gather the application, they go through it, and they make sure that everything looks good, and then they approve it. And they send the information to our staff so that your bill can reflect the fact that you've received a pledge. And then that pledge is paid by the agency as well. And so as you can see here, these agencies are also listed on PSE.com, where you can find them as well with the link attached. So here's some questions that I thought I would answer for you. I need support from PSE when trying to contact an agency. So our agencies that you just saw on the previous list have a phone line and a website where you can contact them for the federal LIHEAP program. It isn't needed for PSE help unless you are in communication with the agency for eligibility verification, which they do for us. But if you should ever have any difficulty getting through to an agency for either an appointment for LIHEAP or anything, you can contact Puget Sound Energy's customer service, and we can get in contact with that agency for you to have them call you back if you need that. How do I know if I'm eligible for the bill discount rate and PSE help? Again, my best suggestion is to use the calculator on PSE.com's website and to look at our income guidelines page on the website. If not, when you get your application in the mail and we put it in, you will see what the discount rate is that you'll be on when your bill goes out to you. Follow up from PSE to contact agency directly. This is PSE's effort to make sure that if you are looking for a response from an agency, we will contact that agency and be sure to have them call you if it's needed for the federal LIHEAP program. Otherwise, you contact the agency directly for LIHEAP. And what steps can I take to expedite my request for bill assistance? We are suggesting to monitor your account through your MyPSE account. That is the best way to see where your application is in the process. I will say that our agencies have gotten in some situations where they are a bit behind and they can be 30 days delayed. That isn't unusual, but we really aspire to make sure that within 30 days, there is at least a status on your application as to where it's at. So you can find it there. And then submit your questions today using the QA button, should you have any after the session. So thank you. These are some email addresses should you have any questions to contact regarding bill payment assistance. And there's the website, pse.com/assistance. Thank you. And I'll turn it over to Sandy Sieg for home weatherization.
Well, thank you, Suzanne, and good evening, everyone. And thank you for joining me to talk about home weatherization assistance. So what you're going to walk away with tonight is a better understanding of what this program does, how it's structured, how it's funded, what kind of measures might you receive if you participate in the program. And then I'm going to end the presentation with the next best step that you can take if you do find yourself interested in applying for the program. Whoops, sorry, I hit, I advanced the slide twice. Sorry about that, everyone. Let's talk about, well, what is weatherization? That's a really big term, and I want to just take a moment to step back so that everyone is working with the same type of definition for weatherization. Now, it does fix problems in your home to reduce energy waste, improve health and safety, and increase comfort at no cost to the income eligible customer. Okay, that's what it does. But what is it? And I always say it this way. Think of your own body. Let's say you walk outside and it's really cold and you don't have a coat or a scarf on. So what are you going to do? Well, you're going to spend energy. You're going to try to warm up. It might be jumping in place, running around, but you're going to work hard to warm up. Well, your home's the same way. If it doesn't have a coat or a scarf, so to speak, it's going to work hard. It's going to spend energy, and the way it does it is it's going to flip your heating system on. So weatherization is this. It's like giving your home a scarf and a coat. So it doesn't have to flip that heating system on so much. So it doesn't have to spend so much energy to maintain a comfortable temperature in your home. So I'd like to hear a little bit more from you. Like, what are you experiencing in your home? So I'm going to ask you to check all that apply. Is your home too cold in the winter? Is it too hot in the summer? Do you not get enough fresh air in your home? Are your energy bills too high? And like I said, you can check all that apply, not just one. So let's give you a few seconds to think that over. Are we ready for the results? Oh, okay. Well, 71% of you are saying, well, my bills are too high, and 73% are saying, and I'm too cold in the winter. But there are some of you also saying that, you know what, I'm really too hot in the summer. And 36% are saying, I'm not getting enough fresh air. And some of you might be saying, well, I answered all of them. So you might be experiencing a combination of challenges in your home. But I will tell you this. If you experience just one of those things, chances are your home could benefit from weatherization. So now let's take a look at what would weatherization look like. So if I applied for this program, what am I going to experience in my home? So I'm going to point at the first two pictures on the top. On the left, you'll see a thing that looks like a fan. That's called a blower door test. That is used to help determine the air leakage in your home. Because here's the thing, if your home has air leaks, and these are things you can't necessarily see, they're just little cracks and crevices in your home that allow air to escape in your home. And you might be in a home where you say to yourself, gosh, you know, the home is so drafty. Well, this blower door test is going to tell you, well, how drafty is your home? And whether or not you might benefit from air sealing in your home. Now, the picture to the right, the top right, that is thermal imaging technology, and that helps a crew see whether or not heat is escaping from your home. Because if you get this done, the crew might be able to say, okay, this home could really benefit from insulation. And below, well, speaking of insulation, there's a crew member that is installing insulation in an attic. So that's the coat that I was telling you about a little earlier. Now, what kind of upgrades could you receive? So what I'm going to do is take a little bit of time and show you what a typical project includes. There's a category usually, middle category sometimes, and then the final category is rarely, never. So what falls in that usually category? In other words, if you participated in this program, what would you probably get? Well, insulation, attic wall floor, and sealing up those air leaks. Now, you might also receive improved ventilation because some of you said, you know, I can tell the air isn't moving that well in my home. Well, ventilation helps with that. It helps the air move through your home. You might receive duct sealing because ducts can get leaky too, just like the rest of your house. And you might also get insulation for your ducts and water pipes, and then minor home repairs, because a lot of times homes need some repairs to bring it to a standard to receive weatherization. So they're the type of repairs that are needed in order to install the measures. So let's take a look at the sometimes category. Well, sometimes you might receive a heating system upgrade, a water heater upgrade, larger home repairs related to weatherization, again, repairs related to weatherization, and fuel switching from oil heat to electric. Now, let's take a look at rarely, never. Rarely do people get window replacements, and the reason why that's so is because the other measures in the usually category, most of the time, they do the job to seal up your home, to insulate your home to a place where you're going to feel more comfortable and bring your bills down. Rarely would you receive solar panels or major repairs or repairs not related to weatherization. For example, you know, if a staircase needed to be repaired, this wouldn't be a repair that would be related to weatherization. So now that we understand what a typical project might include, let's take a look at the types of structures that could be served. Now, there's two categories. There's single family and there's multifamily. Now, let's first take a look at the single family category. That includes site-built homes or manufactured homes. Now, it also includes homes that are owner-occupied and a renter occupied. So I want to emphasize that if you're a renter and you live in a single family structure, you can apply for this program. Now you have to get landlord approval, but you can apply and you can participate. For single family structures, income is qualified per home. Now, in contrast, let's take a look at multifamily. Multifamily is apartments, condos, townhomes, bigger buildings, like 5 units or more. They're mostly renter occupied. Now, in this case, I want to make sure everyone understands this. In this case, the individual does not apply for weatherization. The income is qualified per property. So in other words, the property owner or the property manager of your building would be the one who would apply for the weatherization, because again, the income is qualified per property. So now that you understand better, like what kind of structures are covered by this program, now I want to explain to you how this program is funded. Think of this program as a big umbrella. And underneath this umbrella, you have PSE, you have the Washington State Department of Commerce, and you have the federal government, the U.S. Department of Energy, and also Health and Human Services is also a funding source for this program. So you have utility, state, and federal funding sources. All of those funding sources get distributed to local agencies in your community. Okay, so you have an agency in your community. It's usually one per county, with the exception of King and Pierce counties. There's 2 agencies in King and 2 agencies in Pierce. But these agencies combine the utility, state, and federal funding sources so that they can upgrade your home at no cost. That's how this program can offer you the opportunity to get your home upgraded at no cost, because there's these 3 federal funding sources all working together. Okay, so we talked about how the program's funded, but now you might be asking the question, okay, well, I know what weatherization is. I better understand the structures that you know, that the program covers. I have a general sense of the measures that I could receive, how the program's funded, but do I qualify? Do I qualify? So I want to point something out, you know, to simplify the answer to this question. There are general guidelines that are listed at pse.com/home. Now, I want to emphasize they're general guidelines. They do not qualify you for the program. So if you look at the chart and you think you might be at an income level that could qualify you for the program, it's best to check with your local agency. That is the best next step that you can take. Now, let's talk a little bit about this chart that you're going to see at pse.com/home. You're going to see different rows of numbers. There's an orange row and a blue row. You're also going to see numbers that apply to your county and the number of people in your household. Okay, so be sure to look at your county, but also take into consideration the number of people in your household. Now, if you see that your income might be below that blue line, you are likely to receive services. So please check with your local agency. Now, if you see that your income falls between the blue row and the orange row, in other words, it's underneath, it's less than the numbers in the orange row, but above the numbers in the blue row, you're right there in the middle. Reach out to your local agencies. You may or may not qualify. It really depends on your county and the funding sources available in your county. So that's why I say don't just go by the guidelines on pse.com. Definitely reach out to your agency if you think you are at an income level that qualifies you. So, a few parting thoughts I want to leave with you. This program is in high demand, but I also want to say that this program is worth the wait. Now, depending on where you live, you may be placed on a wait list after qualifying for the program. And it's because the program's in high demand, and it's coupled with the fact that there are statewide contractor shortages for this type of work. Please be patient with our agencies that administer the program. Sometimes they have smaller staffs, but they are eager to serve. And weatherization, also, I want to emphasize this, is really designed to be a long-term solution to lower your energy bills because you're treating the structure. If you want and need a shorter term solution, like something here and now, the best thing you can do is pursue Suzanne's programs, the one that she just presented on, because that's bill payment assistance, as opposed to a longer term solution that addresses the building. And sometimes these projects can take a while The average amount of time that it takes to weatherize a home is 3 months, and sometimes it's longer. And in the case of a multifamily building, it can be more than a year, because again, you're actually addressing, it's a comprehensive program that we call a comprehensive weatherization. And because it's comprehensive, it can take some time. Now, while you wait, again, I'm going to just say this again, look into bill assistance. It's a faster way to save money. And because the average program benefits are so valuable, participants often receive home upgrades worth thousands of dollars. Because think about construction costs, so it really is worth the wait. And just be aware that some upfront paperwork and proof of income is required for this particular program. Now, I want to leave you with this. I want you to see a quote from a PSE customer, a participant in the program. And this customer said, "My house had so many problems. There were times that I wondered what I was going to do. Thanks to you and this wonderful program, I once again am enjoying my house. My energy usage was down so much. It's made such a difference. There's no more mold smell, my bathrooms work, etc. I have been singing your praises and will be forever grateful. I just don't know what I would have done without your expertise and the funding of this program." So here's some additional information. I've been saying throughout this presentation, contact your local agency. Well, you can find the agency directory on PSE's website at pse.com/agency-contacts. Again, that's pse.com/agency-contacts. Or you can go to the Washington State Department of Commerce website. Now, this is a really long navigation, so I'll go through it, but we'll also post it in the chat for you. It's commerce.wa.gov/growing-the-economy /energy-energy-efficiency. So I want to thank you for joining me tonight to learn more about the Weatherization Assistance Program. And now I'm going to pass it on to Amit so you can learn more about the Efficiency Boost Program.
Thanks, Sandy. Hello again, everyone. So my name is Amit, and I am going to talk to you about our Efficiency Boost Program. So our Efficiency Boost Program is a little bit different than the other programs that have been discussed today. So this is a program that is targeted towards our moderate income customers, to customers that have incomes that might be a little bit too high for the programs that Sandy was just discussing, weatherization assistance. Efficiency Boost is basically just higher rebates for moderate income customers. By having higher rebates, that does lower the upfront cost for you to purchase efficient equipment. But this would be a program the Efficiency Boost program is one where you would do the work. So you would either hire a contractor, or you would do DIY, do the work yourself, and then you would essentially apply for a rebate for one of these higher rebates. So that's the style of this program. To learn if you're eligible, if your income is eligible, check out the income qualification tables that are available at the program website. That's pse.com/boost. These are some of the types of equipment that we have the higher rebates for. So insulation and air and duct sealing, that's kind of collectively called weatherization. And I have an asterisk next to those because you actually don't even have to income qualify for those anymore. We raised the rebates for those at the beginning of this year for all customers. So there's no income qualification requirement for insulation and air and duct sealing. For windows, water heat. So water heat would be like a heat pump water heater or a tankless water heater. Space heat, so that would be furnaces or heat pumps. Thermostats or clothes washers and dryers. For all of those pieces of equipment, we do have higher rebates for income qualified customers. I did want to highlight a special offer. We have an excellent resource called the PSE Marketplace that's available at pse.com/marketplace. This is kind of an easy and cheap entry point into energy efficiency. So you'd basically log into the marketplace. You'd enter in your income, and if you're income eligible, you would see a number of thermostats that are available for as low as $1. So if you're looking to upgrade your thermostat, you're looking to kind of ease into energy efficiency, this is a good place to start. For the other pieces of equipment, so if you're looking to upgrade your heating system or water heating or windows or your washer and dryer, I would start by going to pse.com/boost and verifying your income is eligible. We have our income tables on that website. So confirm your income falls under the max limit, and then I would contact one of our excellent energy advisors. They can be reached at 1-800-562-1482. And they can do a number of things for you. They can give you tips for lowering your bills. They can explain to you some of the bill assistance and weatherization programs that Sandy and Suzanne were discussing. And they can also generate a referral for you for one of our trusted contractors, our PSE trade allies. So after you did that, let's say you contacted an energy advisor, you had some quotes, some contractors come out to your house and give some quotes. After they complete the work, you would apply for a rebate. You can do that either online or using one of our rebate forms that can be accessed on pse.com. I did want to note that if you do use one of our contractors, then they would give you what's called an instant rebate. So that's a rebate directly on your invoice. So there's no paperwork you would need to do. It's just reflected directly on your invoice. That rebate's deducted from your cost. So it's definitely a big advantage of using one of our trusted PSE trade allies. Again, several ways to participate. You can request a referral for one of our PSE recommended energy professionals or one of our trusted contractors. You can also, if you have your own contractor, you're welcome to work with them. You just would need to apply for that rebate on your own, either online or through our rebate forms. Or if you're handy and do DIY, you can still be eligible for these higher rebates. One note is that for weatherization, so like insulation or sealing your ducts or sealing the envelope of your house, air sealing, you do have to use one of our trusted PSE contractors, and that's just because there's certain health and safety and quality of work standards that we want to ensure for that kind of work. And then again, another easy way to participate in Efficiency Boost is to just go to our marketplace at pse.com/marketplace and buy one of those $1 thermostats. Just a quick note about what to expect if you're working with contractors. So again, if you hire a participating PSE trade ally or contractor to do your upgrade, then you can get that instant rebate reflected directly on your invoice. So there's no paperwork for you to do. You just get that rebate directly on your invoice deducted from your cost. If you do the upgrade with a non-PSE trade ally, like your own contractor, or you do DIY, you will need to apply for that rebate at pse.com/rebates or fill out a rebate form. I did want to put a plug in here for always making sure that you get multiple quotes whenever you're trying to scope out any project at your house. A little testimonial that I wanted to share. This is a quote from a customer, Sarah. The service provider was excellent, and the insulation that went into my attic has made my house so much cooler this summer. What a difference! Thank you for making my life better. So that could be you if you choose to weatherize your home. A quick poll question. I want to see, folks on the call, how are you doing your work? Are you hiring Are you hiring a PSE contractor? Are you hiring your own contractor, or are you doing the work yourself? So if you were to do an energy efficiency upgrade, how would you do it? Would you hire a PSE contractor? Would you hire another contractor, like a non-PSE contractor that you know, or would you do the work on your own, DIY? Let's see here. I can see those poll results. There we go. Okay, so yeah, it looks like a significant, the vast majority of folks on the call would hire a PSE contractor. I think that's a great resource. We do have certain, they are vetted by PSE, and we do have certain performance standards that they must follow. And again, there's that big advantage to the customer, to you all, of not having to do any additional paperwork to get that rebate. It's directed right in your invoice. And I see some folks have their own contractors, and then a significant, or a pretty good percentage, 13%, can do the work on their own. That's great. Just a couple of FAQs that we get for the program often. Can renters participate? Yes, you can. You would definitely need to get your property owner's permission. In terms of income qualification, whoever is paying the bill that's the income that we're gonna use for income qualification. So if you, the tenant, are paying the bill, then we would be able to use your income for the income qualification. But if the property owner is paying the bill, then we would have to use their income. How do I qualify for the program? Again, the first step would be to contact the PSE Energy Advisor at 1-800-562-1482. Then you would just essentially self-attest your income level on either one of our forms, or if you're applying for that rebate on your own, you can attest your income online. And again, how do I get started? Just contact an energy advisor, 1-800-562-1482. Or again, if you're looking for just a thermostat, you can visit our marketplace, pse.com/marketplace. Okay, thank you, everyone, and I'll pass it off to Chris Stapleton to talk about MyUsage.
Thank you, Amit. And thanks, everybody, for joining us this evening. Again, my name is Chris Stapleton. I'm a program manager in our energy efficiency services. And today I'm just going to briefly talk to you about some of the self-service tools that are available to you through your online accounts at pse.com. These tools, can help you learn about and better understand your home's energy usage, identify energy savings opportunities, and save you money on your energy bill. So first, let's go ahead and discuss these tools in a bit more detail. So the first step in the process is to visit the Analyze My Usage page. So what you can do here is you can take a brief survey about your home's energy usage, and it generally takes about 5 to 7 minutes to complete. Upon completion, you'll have a profile created for your home's energy usage where you'll get estimates of how much energy is being used in your home by category. So as you can see here in the presentation, it breaks things down by like heating and water heating and lighting. Also, completing the survey helps to personalize the savings tips that you can view within your online account throughout the pages that the MyUsage tools are on. Now, one thing I did want to note is for those of you who have lived in your home for at least 13 months, you can toggle between an annual view of your energy usage breakdown and a bill view, which is your most recent billing period's usage breakdown. Now, if you've lived in your home for less than 13 months, you do still have the ability to see your energy usage breakdown for that most recent billing period. After you've had an opportunity to review the profile created by the survey, what you would want to do next is go ahead and view the suggested energy savings actions on our Ways to Save page. So when you visit the Ways to Save page, what you'll find are suggested energy savings actions that are tailored to your specific needs, and they're based off of your survey responses. As you can see here, you can filter these suggestions by things like how much they cost to implement, what season they apply to, what equipment type, such as things like heat pumps or furnaces or water heaters. You can also select multiple filters at the same time to get a more focused view of your energy savings tips that you're interested in exploring and implementing. Now, once you've gone ahead and implemented some of the energy savings actions that are suggested in this tips library, what we recommend doing is regularly monitoring your energy usage through the MyUsage graphs within your online account. Now, these graphs allow you the ability to view your energy usage at multiple levels. So there's a year view, a bill view, and a day view. Now, most specifically, the day view allows you to see your home's hourly energy usage, which is a powerful tool that helps you identify when and how your home is using energy, so you can make informed decisions about your energy use and find opportunities for energy saving. So, in brief conclusion, you want to take the survey, review the tips, and monitor your usage. And by doing that, you'll be well on your way to gaining a better understanding of your home's energy usage and taking action to reduce your usage. Now, on the next slide, we're just going to go ahead and have some information. This email address here is a contact email specifically for those MyUsage tools we just went over. So should you have any questions, please, by all means, don't hesitate to reach out. We also have links to both the MyUsage, the energy usage graphs, which all customers have available through their online accounts, as well as that online assessment that will create that profile we discussed, so you can start getting tailored savings tips to implement in your home and save your energy. And then I'd like to end with, just one more poll question. So the question is, before this presentation, were you aware that you could view your energy usage online, your hourly energy usage online through your Puget Sound Energy account? So if you could please go ahead and select either yes or no. We'll give it a few seconds or a few moments for you to reply, and then we can go ahead and discuss what the results of the survey are. Oddly enough, this is the exact same percentage breakdown that we had in our previous Ask an Expert event. So almost 80% of you were unaware. So that's great, because you're actually getting an opportunity to learn something about some of the features of the online tools that you were unaware of that can be really helpful for you. So please consider sharing what you've learned today, about these tools, but not only about the tools I'm talking about, but about all of the programs that are being presented to you today that can benefit, many people that that I'm sure are customers of ours, your friends, your family, your neighbors, so they can benefit from this information as well. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and just say thank you again for your time. I'm going to turn it over to Mitch, and he's going to talk to you about our PSE Flex programs, our demand response programs. So thanks again. Reese, can you advance? Thanks.
All right. Hello, this is Mitch Dro, Demand Response Program Manager. And with that, I'm excited today to talk about what is demand response, why are we doing it, and then how can you participate? So first off, I'd like to kick off with a poll. Do you have a smart thermostat? Yes, no, but I'm planning on it. Sorry, no, but I'm planning on it. Some eligible smart thermostats that we're thinking of: Google Nest, Ecobee, Sensi, Honeywell Home, Amazon Smart Thermostat, Misa, Sinope. These are some of the thermostats that are out there right now. All right, looks like we have some results coming in. All right, so we got some folks that do have it, a lot that don't, but hey, glad that we got a good crew that are looking at get one. So let's talk about some of the advantages of that as we get through the presentation here. So the first question, what is this demand response? So PSE Flex, this is the demand response program to support flexible solutions to meet growing demand. How we're doing it is we are changing how and when customers use energy to prevent spikes and ensure stable, reliable services. Now, under this, we have under demand response, there's kind of 4 categories that we go with. One of the key things is we're building resiliency. Now, by building resiliency, we're introducing new tools that we can help manage the electricity and the energy. What this is doing, it's allowing us to mitigate risk. So as we look at the environmental impact, some of the operational impacts, and some of the financial impacts of energy usage, this helps us find ways to be able to utilize demand response for that. Supporting the community. So by doing the community support, what it does is we're reducing the grid stress and lowering energy costs for all. And I like to think of this as if you have a cup of coffee or a cup of tea and you want to put some sugar in it, each of us is one of those grains of sugar. Now, one little grain of sugar, not a big impact, but as soon as we get a bunch of folks together and we dump it in, all of a sudden we get this really sweet impact from it. So the participation in demand response is really seen when we have a lot of folks involved with it. And we've had some really good participation in our past programs that we've done through the summer and the winter. Now with this, this is also a chance to earn money. So if you participate in the demand response program, we have ways for you to earn money during those events. And we'll talk about that as we move on through the presentation. So kind of thinking about demand response, what it actually looks like. So each day when we come home, we turn on the lights, we turn on the oven, we turn on the TV. All this creates a demand of energy usage on the grid. So what we're trying to do is, you can see from this graph, there's an available electric supply that's out there, and that's that yellow line. So when we all come home and we all start using energy, that demand spikes. So what demand response does is it helps shift and reduce the usage so we can help lower that spike that happens during that time when everybody comes home. Now, how does a flex event, like what are you actually going to see as the person that's participating? So first off, you'll get a notification 24 hours before the event, and it'll let you know when that window is. And when the window happens and we are actually in our flex event, you can shift your load, you can reduce it, but you'll see a drop in your usage during that time. And once that time window is done and the event's over, you just go right back to your normal usage. So this little dip that you're doing multiplied across all of our different customers really makes a huge impact for what we're trying to accomplish. Now, with this, we'll do up to 15 events per season. We just wrapped up our summer season, and that went from May 1st to September 30th. And now we're starting to get prepared for our winter season. So in this case, it's going to start November 1st and go all the way to March 31st. These events will occur between 7 a.m. and 10 p.m. And they typically are going to be between 2 and 4 hours for each event. We try to avoid major holidays and weekends, and we try to send notification 24 hours before the event starts. So now that we have this understanding of what demand response is, what these flex events are, let's figure out which program is going to be right for you. So with this, we got 2 different buckets for the flex program. We have an incentivized bucket and an unincentivized bucket. So if you're excited to earn on these events, first we have Flex Rewards, Flex Smart, and Flex EV. With Flex Rewards, this is strictly behavioral response. There's no enrollment of devices. You just have to sign up and say, hey, I'd like to participate. For this, you get $25 for enrolling. We give you $15 for annual participation in the program. And during the event, you can earn up to $1, or you earn $1 for every kilowatt hour reduced for that 2 to 4 hour window. The next two, the Flex Smart and Flex EV, these are our automated programs. I like to call them the set and forget. So if you have a smart thermostat, you get $50 per device enrolled, $20 per season for each device. So if you have multiple devices in the house, you can enroll each one of those devices. If you have a line voltage connected thermostat, you can get $20 for each of those devices, and you get $10 per winter season for enrollment. On Flex EV, if you have an EV or EV charger at home, you get $50 for enrolling the vehicle or the charger. And this one you can actually earn. You'll get 50 cents per kilowatt hour to, reduced during the Flex events. And the cool thing about Flex Smart and Flex EV, you can combine those two programs together, but you can't combine anything with the Flex Rewards program. So I'll make sure you guys understand how those different groupings work. So if you just want to get it and just participate, really focus on that Flex Rewards. Now, we also have Flex events, and this one you don't sign up for. We select customers each season, and we ask you to participate. There's no incentives in this, and it's an opt-out participation program. And if you find that you've gotten a letter that says, hey, you're in Flex events, you can always upgrade and choose one of these programs above to be incentivized during those events. So the key thing that I like to tell my friends is, hey, if you got the Flex events notification, sign up for Flex Rewards, because it's the same type of participation as you would do in Flex events, but you're going to be able to get paid for it, which is great. Now, the payments in this, these come in the form of gift cards. Our program is set up so you can get a gift card. We have gift cards such as Amazon. I do believe we can get some credit card, gift card options as well. So there's a way to be able to get incentivized and get the money back from those. Last thing I want to add about this is if you refer a friend to the reward programs, Flex Rewards, Flex Smart, Flex EV, we do have a $10 referral. So you can get folks signed up and cash in on that as well. So it's great seeing money in your pockets. So we talked about Flex Smart. What are the eligible thermostats? So to be able to get that $50 range, we're talking Google Nest, Ecobee, Sensi, Honeywell Home, Amazon Smart thermostats. If you have the line voltage thermostats, and these are typically for the wall heaters, it's Misa and Sinope. Those are the ones that have the, I believe it was the $20 device enrollment on that. So these are the thermostats that are eligible. If you have EV, let me make sure I can move forward for you here. So if you have EV, you can see we have a bunch of brands that are listed here. So we have a lot of eligible vehicles that are participating. For the chargers, we have Wallbox, ChargePoint, and EvoCharge. So those are all available to enroll in Flex EV. All right, so now that we know what DR is, we know the different programs, we know how to be incentivized. To be able to enroll, just go to pse.com/flex, and that will get you to a general page to be able to see how to sign up for those programs. But if you know, hey, I want to do Flex Rewards, pse.com/flex rewards. You can do the same for Flex Smart or Flex EV. And once you're in there, you can sign up. We have the Flex Saver enrollment app, so it'll get you going, and you can get the devices enrolled. Once again, if you find that you've been asked to join Flex events, you can go ahead and you don't need to do anything. You're enrolled to be able to help participate and make an impact. But if you want to get incentivized, I would hop in and check out the pse.com/flex rewards and get yourself earning on each time you save. All right, so with that, check out the website. We love the participation that we've been seeing. It's been making some really great impact out there, and excited to see people earning and saving and making an impact all at the same time. So with that, thank you very much, and I'm going to pass it on to Juan.
Let's see here if you guys, can you hear me all right? Let's go ahead. Oh, perfect. There we go. So now it's time to do the Q&A section. And let me see if I went too fast here. Let's go back. Nope. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with the Q&A section. We have a few questions here in the Q&A, and I'm just going to go in order from the top to the bottom. So the first question comes from an anonymous attendee, and it is, why is gross household income used as a measure for eligibility? People live in my home who earn money, however, they do not contribute to the energy or other bills. And Melissa Troy would like to answer this one. So Melissa, go ahead.
I will turn it over to Sandy or Suzanne. Suzanne.
I would be happy to answer that. Because there are so many different income types and certain ones are already net, like Social Security, for example, we wanted to make it simple so that the system will take out the taxes and you simply put the gross, but it is indeed the net of the collective household income that qualifies the household. If you should have any questions about your particular household, feel free to contact our customer care and they can direct you to my team to answer any questions you may have that are particular.
Thank you so much, Suzanne. Let's go ahead and move on to the next question. And this one is a clarification question. It's from another anonymous attendee. It says, if I own my townhome, do I qualify for the weatherization program? So Sandy, go ahead and take it away.
Thank you for that question. I'm glad you asked the question. If you own your townhome, you may qualify. What I recommend that you do is contact your local agency, tell them your specific situation. They may ask you about some of the building characteristics that your townhome is in, but you are the property owner. So, so you would directly contact the agency. So thank you. That was a great clarifying question.
Thank you, Sandy. All right, the next question comes to us from Darrell Givens. He wants to know how he would find out if his apartment or owners have applied, and I'm not sure to which program he's referring to. Potentially the weatherization, maybe.
I think so. So I think the best thing that you could do is start that dialogue with your property owner or manager, find out if they know about the program. And if they do know about the program, have they applied for it? And the opportunity here is if they don't know about it, that's something that you can inform them of. Now, another thing, I don't want to complicate matters here, but I do want to tell you that if you pursued a conversation like this and you say, hey, you know, there's a home weatherization assistance program that pays for weatherization upgrades in multifamily buildings, if they don't show interest in, like, let's say the application process, there is another program. It's a rebate program for multifamily buildings at PSE, and it is not part of the assistance program. It's just the rebate program for any multifamily building. And I will say the rebates are really great in that program as well, and it doesn't require an application process the way home weatherization assistance does. So, so like I said, it's an opportunity to educate your property management if they don't know about the program.
Thank you, Sandy. All right, next question. It is from Leonard Luna, and his question is, I understand that the smart thermostats need new wiring. Will PSC pay for installing of smart thermostat heater? And I believe this question is for Amit or whoever.
Yeah, I can take it. So our rebates for the smart thermostat just apply to the thermostat itself. Other, like we don't have any other discounts for the installation. Yeah, it's just the rebate itself it's just the thermostat itself that would be rebated.
Thank you, Amit. Okay, let's see here. So Daryl Gibbons has another question. This one's Zach, who installs those thermostats? This is an old place. Yeah, so who would install them? Or anybody else who has the answer for that?
I can take that one too, I think.
Yeah, go for it.
So yeah, we do have our PSE contractors. We do have some of them that install smart thermostats for you. Yeah, so either a PSE, you can use a PSE contractor, you can use your own contractor, or you can do DIY. Those are kind of the options that come to mind for me.
I would like to add it. It really does depend on the program because Amit's answer pertained to efficiency boosts. Now, in the case of weatherization assistance, the social service agencies that implement the program for us, they have their own contractors and their own subcontractors, and they are it's a regulated program, so there are certain things that they must do that their contractors must do in order to participate in the program. So it's just a little different because the agency is using their contractors as opposed to the customer themselves using a contractor to install a measure. So it's a little different because the agency is managing that entire process for the income qualified customer. And I might add, I realized I didn't say this during the presentation, is what the agencies do after you're income qualified is they will come to your home and conduct an energy assessment to determine the mix of measures. And then at that time, they'll say, okay, we have these various measures that can be installed in this home. And then they tap their contractors and subcontractors to do the work once they identify the mix of measures. And again, this is weatherization assistance.
Thank you for that in, Sandy. Our next question comes in from Kathleen Webb, and it says, I live in a townhome complex. Is there a grid max for our complex for the amount of electric cars charging stations in the garage before it affects other owners? I believe this question is for Chris.
I would have to think that there might be a point at which the amount of energy being demanded would exceed what can be supplied to a specific location, but that's really probably more of a question for engineering to understand, you know, if there might need to be something changed in relation to the equipment feeding service to the location. So they could contact customer care if they had concerns about reliability issues with energy being provided to their home.
Thanks, Chris. And I think this next one might be for you as well. In Flex Rewards, what is the average dollar amount that PSE pays out?
All right, that'd be for me, Mitch. You know, I don't have the average. I know it depends on the participation. So with each event, I know folks that have signed up for the Flex Rewards, they can earn more than, I kind of use that $25 mark if you signed up and get that bonus. Typically, you can get more than 25. I know when I was doing it, I originally signed up for the Flex Smart, so I got my $50 for that. But then I realized if I was doing the rewards, I have the chance to earn more if I do more. So I was excited to switch over to rewards myself as I was doing that. So unfortunately, I don't have an exact number for you, but you can definitely. I try to play the game of trying to figure out which program was right for me by my usage at home and which program I felt I could get incentivized more. So it depends. So I had a very good answer, but I would leave it at that. Oh, Juan, I think you're muted.
You're right. Thank you. So the next question here comes from Brenda Reese, and I think this one's for you, Mitch, as well. And it's, how do you use the money in your Flex Rewards wallet?
Yeah, that's a great question. So if you go to the pse.com/flex and you can choose the program that you're in, there'll be an option on the right-hand side of the page that says Manage Your Flex Rewards Account. And in there, you can click it, you can see how you've been performing, and you have a chance to be able to cash out your gift cards that you've earned. So that's how you go through and collect on your rewards.
Okay, the next question here is, let's see here, from Shakib Alizai, and it's, do they want supporting documents for help and LIHEAP? So Suzanne, I'll let you take that one.
For the federal LIHEAP program, yes, they usually are going to ask you for your supporting documents for the month prior to when you apply. And for PSE help, it's not required unless your account is chosen for the random 5% eligibility verification. And then you're notified and can give that same document month to our, either upload it to pse.com or give it to the agency that is doing the eligibility verification for you. And you'll hear from them when if your number is chosen for that.
Thanks, Suzanne. And I think I have another question here for you, coming from Beverly Grace. It says, if I received an urgent notice and was not able to secure energy assistance and haven't received the response about the bill discount rate program to be enrolled into the past due bill for the business program, would it be advisable that I set up some payment arrangements, or what would you suggest?
A payment arrangement is fine, but we also do what we would call a credit hold on the account. So if you contact our customer care, or I believe you can go on to pse.com, but customer care can do it for a period of up to 30 days or the time period that we're waiting for your grant.
Next question comes from an anonymous attendee, and it says, should I still call the PSE helpline for an appointment if I apply for PSE help on the PSE website?
You do not need to. No. You can apply on pse.com, and every week we are looking at what applications are out there and doing a credit hold on those accounts until the agency can get to those apps. But in the meantime, if we missed your account to do a hold, it is good to contact customer care and let them know that you've applied, but that's only if you're in threat of disconnection. But if you're not, then no need to call.
The next question here I have, it comes from Uzma Zafar. Hi, once applied for forgiveness program, how do I know the application has been submitted? It stated submitted, but it didn't put an account number in there.
Once you've checked the little declaration statement that asks you if you'd like to go on that, it then puts your application in a state whereby a PSE help needs to be on your account. And so once that happens, then the bill discount rate approval, that happens. And then the green light, so to speak, happens, where it looks at your account to see, do you have a minimum of 300? Is there, up to 2,500 that it can fold into an arrangement? And then on your bill and by a separate email, you will learn that you are enrolled in that program. So it happens when the green light goes, and that is your PSE help grant is posted to your bill, and then you're approved for the bill discount rate, and then it begins. And you're notified of that.
Thank you. Next question comes from an anonymous attendee, and the question is, are weatherization upgrades income tax deductible? Maybe Sandy, maybe you might know.
Well, I know for weatherization assistance, they are not, because the measures are installed at no cost. So I'm not sure about other PSE programs that I hate to say this, it might be a question for an accountant. Does anyone else, for a standard rebate program that's not weatherization assistance, does anyone else know?
I think there's tax credits for certain energy efficiency upgrades. But I don't know if that includes weatherization. Yeah, I think the federal government has some tax credits for energy efficiency upgrades, but that's kind of the extent of what I know.
Thank you, guys. Another question from an anonymous attendee. So if our gross income is marginally considered too high, should we still apply? It doesn't say specifically what program they're speaking about, but if you guys just want to share.
I'm sure it's when somebody enters an income and it is too high at first, because it's looking at your gross. It does invite you, it does say currently today, if you think this is incorrect, please proceed. And I still encourage people to do that, because if it's earned income, once you proceed, there's a place where you're identifying the incomes in that household, and the ones that typically have taxes for 20% taken off, that occurs inside. So I encourage you to proceed anyway. And if it's earned income, we do take off taxes for that, and a couple of other different income types as well.
And I will add, in the case of weatherization assistance, please do reach out to your local agency to inquire about weatherization and whether or not you're income qualified, because they can ask you some questions that will help you better understand whether or not you should apply. So please don't fill out an application before you talk to your local agency, because I definitely don't want you to spend time doing that to find out you might not be income qualified. So call them first.
So we'll do one more really quick question before we have to go, and it's from Barbara Smith, and it says, when do you receive the funds after you participate in the Flex events?
Hey, Barbara, good question. So the funds will show up after the season's done. So typically they're being processed currently, so that should be coming out soon. We'll get notice of the funds showing up. As you sign up, those incentives should be available, and you should be aware of the initial setup incentives. But then as the seasons wrap up, we'll do the tallies, the calculations, and I know our team's working on it right now. So hope to see those out soon.
All right. Well, looks like we've reached the end of today's webinar. So let's go ahead and move on to our last slide here, or almost our last slide. But here you have all the information for our customer care and what website you can visit for assistance, as well as our home weatherization and efficiency boost programs here. So you will be getting this information later on in your email. So I'm gonna just go ahead and move on to the next slide. Here's more information on MyUsage, PSE Flex, and how to contact an energy advisor. And again, thank you for joining us. And if we didn't get your questions answers today, we will be sending out an email with answers to the questions that didn't get answered. And remember, there will be 6 winners contacted on Wednesday, October 16th, for those $200 gift cards. So make sure to check your email and for that. And there will also be a PSC post-event survey that you can take. And plus, as I said, with the follow-up email that's going to go out on October 17th, that's going to go out with in language recordings and all the resource links that I just talked about. So thanks everybody for joining us today, and we'll call it good night with that. So have a good night, everybody.